The night before it happens. You feel it tonight. That tension in your chest, that quiet pressure in the air. Like something is moving behind the curtain of your life. And before the sun rises, something will shift. Not by accident, not by coincidence, but because you were never meant to stay who you were yesterday. The silence feels different. This is not ordinary silence. It is heavy, intentional, watching you. The world seems paused, as if waiting for your next breath. Chosen ones always recognize this stillness before transition. It is the calm before inner elevation. You were never like the others. From childhood, you felt different. Not superior, just separate. You saw through things people accepted without question. You sensed depth where others saw surface. And that difference has always carried both isolation and purpose. The weight of awareness. Awakening is not soft. It does not arrive with applause. It arrives with disruption, with loss, with confusion. Because growth demands the breaking of old illusions. And you have been breaking for a while now. Why the pressure intensifies at night. Night strips distractions away. There is no noise to hide behind. Your thoughts grow louder, your intuition sharper. The chosen often receive clarity in darkness, because darkness forces reflection. And reflection leads to truth. The sign before sunrise. Before elevation, there is confrontation. Before clarity, there is uncertainty. You may feel restlessness, a sudden urge to change something. A realization you can no longer ignore. That is not fear, that is preparation. Society never understood you. You were told to tone it down, to stop asking questions, to follow the script written for everyone else. But your spirit resisted, because you were not designed to live unconsciously. The attempt to silence you. When someone carries awareness, it unsettles others. Not because you are wrong, but because truth exposes comfort. People project, they misunderstand, they label. That is the price of seeing beyond the surface. Spiritual awakening is disruptive. Awakening shakes relationships. It changes conversations. It makes old environments feel foreign. You outgrow spaces that once felt safe. And that growth can feel lonely. Loneliness is not abandonment. Do not confuse isolation with rejection from the divine. Sometimes separation is protection. You are being repositioned, realigned with something higher in character and purpose. And repositioning often happens quietly. The inner war. Part of you wants comfort. Another part wants truth. Comfort whispers, stay the same. Truth commands, evolve. Before sunrise, one of those voices will win. The moment of decision. Something will happen before sunrise. It may not be external. It may not be dramatic. But inside you will decide. To rise differently tomorrow. Chosen means responsibility. Being chosen does not mean guaranteed ease. It does not mean automatic success. It means accountability. It means you are aware enough to choose integrity. And integrity is a heavy crown. The breaking point. You have felt stretched thin, tested beyond your limits, questioning your strength. But breaking points often reveal hidden resilience. You are stronger than your exhaustion. The shift in perspective. Before transformation, perspective changes. What once hurt you begins to teach you. What once confused you begins to make sense. You see patterns, you see lessons. And awareness replaces bitterness. The fire of refinement. Gold is refined by fire. Character is refined by hardship. You are not being punished. You are being purified of illusions. And purification is rarely comfortable. The fear of the unknown. The mind fears uncertainty. but the soul recognizes growth. Tonight you stand between fear and faith, between the familiar and the necessary. Before sunrise, you will lean toward one. Why you could not stay small. You try to shrink yourself, to make others comfortable, to avoid attention. But your spirit would not cooperate, because smallness was never your design. The awakening of discipline. Awareness without discipline is wasted potential. You are being called to consistency, to prayer, to reflection, to action. Elevation requires effort, and you are ready for responsibility. The hidden strength within you. You survived what should have broken you. You endured what others never saw. And you kept going quietly. That quiet endurance is evidence. You were being built, not buried. The test before the rise. Every rise comes with a final test. Not to destroy you, but to confirm your readiness. Will you react as your old self, or respond as your awakened self? The power of self-control. True strength is restraint. It is choosing wisdom over impulse, patience over pride, humility over ego. That choice may happen tonight. The dawn is symbolic. Sunrise represents renewal. But renewal begins before light appears. It begins in darkness, in reflection, in surrender, in quiet decisions no one else sees. You are not crazy. You are not imagining this shift. You are not dramatic. You are not unstable. You are evolving. And evolution feels unfamiliar at first. The separation from old patterns. You cannot repeat what you have outgrown. It will feel wrong now. Conversations will feel shallow. Habits will feel heavy. That discomfort is growth knocking. What will happen before sunrise? Maybe forgiveness. Maybe clarity. Maybe the courage to walk away. Maybe the commitment to step forward. Whatever it is, it will begin within. The responsibility of awareness. Now that you see differently, you must live differently. Awareness removes excuses. You cannot unknow truth. You cannot unsee what has been revealed. And that realization changes everything. You were prepared for this. Every delay shaped patience. Every betrayal sharpened discernment. Every hardship strengthened faith. Nothing was random. Everything trained you for elevation. The quiet confidence. After tonight, something subtle will change. You will speak less but mean more. You will move slower but with certainty. You will doubt less and trust wisely. That is maturity, not arrogance. This is your turning point. Not because magic will happen. Not because the sky will split open. But because you will choose growth over fear. You will choose discipline over distraction. You will choose purpose over comfort. And when the sun rises, you will not be the same person who went to sleep. If this message spoke to the part of you that has been restless tonight, don't ignore it. Like this video to affirm your commitment to growth. Comment, "I choose to rise," as a declaration of discipline and awareness. And subscribe to Return to Awakening so you never miss the moments that challenge you to become who you were truly meant to be, the call that cannot be ignored. Even now, a quiet voice stirs inside you. It may whisper or it may roar. Either way, it demands attention. The chosen cannot pretend they do not hear it. It is not random, it is not coincidence, it is a summons. The signs are subtle. A fleeting vision, a sudden insight, a dream that feels real. You notice patterns that others miss. You feel energy shift around certain people or places. These are not mistakes. They are signals guiding you toward preparation. The shadow of doubt. Doubt will always appear before elevation. It tests whether your commitment is genuine. Will you retreat into comfort? Or will you walk through fear anyway? Before sunrise, your answer will take shape. The moments you were tested. Remember when life felt unbearable, when every option seemed closed. Those were not punishments, they were calibrations. Your resilience was being measured. Your readiness was being refined. The subtle awakening within. You may not notice it yet, but something has shifted internally. A small sense of peace, a spark of clarity. You feel less reactive, more discerning. Your heart begins to recognize what is worth your energy. And that recognition is power. The weight of knowing. Knowing sets you apart. It carries responsibility, not comfort. But it also carries truth. Truth that cannot be taken away. And before sunrise, truth will demand a choice. The courage to step forward. Stepping forward feels dangerous. Even though the path is unseen, even though uncertainty waits. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is moving despite it. Tonight, the edge of your courage is tested. And the chosen always find it within themselves. The release of the old self. Old patterns, outdated beliefs, relationships that drain you, they will no longer fit. A letting go is required before you can rise. It may feel like loss, but it is liberation. And liberation prepares you for your next chapter. The sacred moment of clarity. When the mind finally quiets, the heart begins to speak. The voice you have been waiting for is always within. It is subtle, it is relentless. It is the truth of who you were always meant to be. The power in solitude. Solitude is not emptiness. It is a crucible. It is where the chosen gather strength, where clarity is sharpened, and where destiny begins to whisper its first instructions. The alignment of destiny. Everything seems chaotic now, but the pieces are moving into place. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every moment of doubt, they align. And before the sun rises, alignment will become evident. The unseen force is working. The world often feels random, but unseen forces shape moments, orchestrating events you cannot yet see. You may feel nudged, guided, or even blocked. It is all preparation, all part of the divine calibration of your life. The quiet explosion of realization. It may come suddenly, a flash of understanding, a realization you cannot unsee. And once it occurs, nothing feels the same. Your perception, your priorities, your purpose, they shift. The awakening of patience. Patience is not passive. It is an active recognition of timing. Knowing that before sunrise, the necessary events will unfold. And your readiness will meet the moment exactly as it should. The strength in stillness. Before action comes, stillness is required. Your mind, body, and spirit must be aligned. This stillness is preparation. It is where the chosen gather the energy for transformation. The light emerging within. Even before the external sun rises, an internal light can emerge. It is subtle, it is steady. It does not announce itself, but it illuminates the path ahead. The weight and gift of awareness. Awareness carries both burden and blessing. You see beyond illusions. You feel beyond comfort. But this vision is rare. And it is precisely why you were chosen. The breakthrough before dawn. The change may not be obvious. It may be invisible to others. But inside, a breakthrough occurs. A shift in perspective. A movement toward your higher self. The inner victory. The smallest victories often go unnoticed. A decision to forgive. A moment of restraint. A choice to trust. These victories set the foundation for the life you were meant to lead. The whisper of destiny. Destiny is not always loud. It whispers, it nudges, it waits patiently. And tonight, before sunrise, its whisper grows louder. It is calling you to step into alignment with your purpose. The final question before light. Before the new day begins, one question remains. Will you rise as the person you were always meant to be? Or will you return to comfort and old patterns? Your answer will define everything that follows. The transformation is subtle. Change often begins quietly. It is the small shift in attitude, the internal decision, the acceptance of truth. Before sunrise, these small shifts accumulate. And by the time light arrives, transformation is undeniable. The chosen always move. Once called, the chosen cannot ignore the call. The shift may feel gradual, imperceptible, almost invisible. But it is unstoppable. The chosen always move forward, even when the world resists. The moment of preparation. Right now, in the hours before light, prepare. Prepare your mind, your heart, your spirit. Release what no longer serves you. Embrace the energy that stirs within. The edge of the unknown. Everything that lies ahead is unseen. And that is intentional. The unknown tests faith, courage, and resolve. Before sunrise, you will face it. And you will choose to rise anyway. The awakening is inevitable. The chosen cannot remain asleep forever. Awareness cannot be denied. It presses forward like a tide, unstoppable. And tonight, it reaches its first crest before the day begins. The call to action within you. The shift you feel is personal. It is intimate. It is unavoidable. It is your soul calling you to step into alignment with your purpose. The quiet confidence that follows. After this night, you will move differently. Speak differently, think differently. Not because you forced it, but because you allowed it to unfold naturally. The first step is internal. Before you act, before the world notices, the first step is internal. A decision, a commitment, a surrender. And before sunrise, that step will already be taken. The proof is in the stillness. Stillness is deceptive. It feels passive, but it is active. It is where choices are made, strength is gathered, and clarity is born. And before sunrise, this stillness carries proof of your readiness. The final whisper of tonight. Listen closely. The air carries subtle messages. Your heart beats with reminders. Your mind receives insights you cannot yet articulate. These are the signs that transformation is imminent. The energy of renewal. Every challenge, every test, every restless night carries energy. Energy that prepares, strengthens, and purifies. Before sunrise, you absorb it all. And this energy becomes the fuel for your next stage. The moment you cannot ignore. Something will happen tonight. Not because you asked for it. Not because you forced it. But because you are ready. And readiness always triggers response. The threshold of change. You are on the edge of something immense. It is invisible to the world, yet undeniable to you. Crossing this threshold requires courage, faith, and surrender. And before sunrise, the first steps will be taken. The inner alignment that precedes action. Your thoughts, emotions, and intentions converge. They synchronize in silence. Before the world stirs, you are already aligned. And alignment is the precursor to impact. The dawn of a new awareness. When light arrives, it will reveal not only the world outside, but the world inside you. A self that is more awake, more discerning, more powerful. Before sunrise, this new awareness begins. The moment of reckoning. Tonight tests the boundary between fear and faith, between hesitation and action. And before the sun rises, that boundary will be crossed. The shift that cannot be contained. Transformation starts quietly. But once it begins, it cannot be stopped. Your energy, your focus, your awareness, they all move toward the inevitable. The chosen rise before the rest. The chosen do not wait for permission. They do not wait for recognition. Before the world fully awakens, they have already shifted. And tonight that shift is your own. The silent victory. Some victories are unseen. Some breakthroughs happen within. Before sunrise, the smallest decisions create the largest impact. And that impact will define your path. The moment you realize your power. Before the light breaks, you sense it. A power that was always within. Quiet, subtle, undeniable. And it is enough to change everything. The unfolding of your purpose. Every restless night, every moment of doubt, every period of waiting, it all leads here. Before sunrise, purpose begins to unfold within you. And once it unfolds, you cannot ignore it. The night that changes everything. Tonight is not ordinary. It is pivotal. It is sacred. And before sunrise, your life will take a step it cannot retract. The awakening moves in silence. Not all shifts are loud. Not all change is visible. But the chosen know the power of internal movement. Before sunrise, this movement begins. The preparation for your next chapter. Everything you have endured has prepared you. Everything you have felt has strengthened you. Before sunrise, the first real step toward your next chapter quietly takes place. The last whisper before light. Listen closely. The quiet before dawn carries your answers. Your courage. Your readiness. Before sunrise, the chosen step forward. The threshold of your destiny. Every night carries lessons. Every darkness hides insight. And before sunrise, you cross the threshold. The person who sleeps tonight is not the one who rises. The internal revolution. Change begins inside. It is personal, intimate, unstoppable. Before sunrise, the revolution within you starts. The rising of the chosen. Before the world stirs, before recognition arrives, the chosen rise. Silently, purposefully, powerfully. And tonight, that rising begins. The first breath of transformation. Even before dawn, you breathe differently. You see differently. You feel differently. And the first breath of transformation is always the quietest. The secret of the night. The night holds truths the day cannot. The chosen learn, prepare, and awaken in darkness. Before sunrise, the secrets are revealed inside you. The final hour before light. Everything is converging. All tests, all signs, all preparation. Before sunrise, the final internal hour shapes the person you are becoming. The moment that defines you. Tonight, you make choices unseen by the world. Decisions that will echo in every sunrise thereafter. Before dawn, the chosen step into alignment with their true path. The inner door opens. A subtle shift occurs. The door to your next self creaks open. And before sunrise, you take the first step through it. The pulse of destiny. Your heartbeat syncs with purpose. Your breath aligns with intention. Before the sun rises, destiny pulses within you. The silence that speaks. The world sleeps, but the chosen listen. Every silence tonight carries instruction. Every pause, every still moment, guidance. And before sunrise, the message is clear. The transformation is quiet but real. No one may notice. No one may applaud. But internally, everything has shifted. Before sunrise, you have changed. The awakening continues. This night is only the beginning. The chosen always awaken, step by step. And before sunrise, you have already taken the first. The weight of the moment. Tonight, the weight of awareness presses upon you. But it is not a burden. It is a signal, a preparation, a catalyst. Before sunrise, you embrace it. The still point before action. Before movement comes, there is stillness. Before clarity comes, there is reflection. And before sunrise, your still point becomes your foundation. The final stirring. The last whispers of the night move through you. Lessons, warnings, encouragements, and clarity. Before sunrise, the final stirring sets your course. The transformation you cannot ignore. It is happening. You feel it, you sense it. Before sunrise, transformation is quietly, inevitably underway. The awakening is personal. No one else can do this for you. No one else can feel it, see it, understand it like you can. Before sunrise, your personal awakening begins. The chosen cannot resist. Even if you wanted to, you could not ignore this. Even if you tried, your spirit would not allow it. Before sunrise, the call is irresistible. The threshold crossed in silence. Without fanfare, without spectacle, you cross the threshold. Into clarity, into purpose, into awakening. Before sunrise, the chosen step into the unseen. The quiet assurance. You are ready. Even if you do not feel it fully yet. Even if doubt lingers. Before sunrise, quiet assurance settles in your soul. The momentum builds. Each thought, each decision, each release builds momentum. Before the world awakens, you are already moving. And momentum becomes unstoppable. The subtle yet profound shift. Nothing may appear different externally. But internally, everything has changed. Before sunrise, the shift is complete. The night that prepares for light. Every hour of darkness has meaning. Every restless thought has purpose. Before sunrise, the night has prepared you for everything that comes next. The internal alignment that precedes destiny. The stars above may shine, but it is your inner alignment that guides you. Before sunrise, purpose aligns with action. The first step is always internal. Before movement outward, movement inward occurs. Before sunrise, the first internal step has already taken place. The awakening is inevitable. All preparation, all struggle, all reflection leads here. Before sunrise, awakening is no longer optional. The chosen rise in silence. While the world sleeps, the chosen awaken. Before dawn, you rise silently but powerfully. The threshold of transformation. You stand on it now. The unseen line between who you were and who you are becoming. Before sunrise, that line is crossed. The power within you. It has always been there. Silent, patient, waiting. Before sunrise, you acknowledge it, and it guides your every move. The last hour before light. The moments slip by. The world is quiet. Your spirit stirs. Before sunrise, the last hour sets everything in motion. The awakening that cannot be denied. You may resist doubt or fear, but the chosen cannot deny their truth. Before sunrise, truth awakens fully within you. The final shift before dawn. Something changes deep within. Invisible, subtle, profound. Before the first light, the chosen shift into a new state of being. The night that marks the beginning. Tonight is not the end. It is the beginning. Before sunrise, the chosen start the journey only they can take. The invisible preparation. Everything has been quiet, unseen, internal. Before sunrise, that preparation becomes the foundation for your path forward. The inner revolution that precedes change. Revolution is not always loud. Before sunrise, the quiet internal revolution has already begun. The power of readiness. You cannot manufacture it. You cannot borrow it. Before sunrise, readiness emerges within you naturally. The alignment that cannot be forced. Everything aligns quietly, subtly. Before sunrise, alignment sets the stage for the chosen to rise. The threshold of possibility. Tonight, infinite possibilities converge. Before sunrise, one path becomes inevitable. The final stir before dawn. The night whispers its last message. Before sunrise, you hear it. And you are changed. The chosen move silently. No one sees yet. No one understands. Before sunrise, your internal movement begins. The awakening that precedes recognition. Recognition comes later. But awakening cannot wait. Before sunrise, the chosen awaken first. The energy of the night. Restless, powerful, subtle. It flows through you now. Before sunrise, energy transforms into clarity. The moment that is only yours. No one else experiences this shift. It is personal, sacred, and necessary. Before sunrise, you step into it. The quiet power of transformation. Transformation whispers, never shouts. Before sunrise, quiet power settles within. The first breath of a new day. Even before light touches the earth, you breathe differently. Before sunrise, the new you begins. The threshold of awakening. Tonight is the line. Before sunrise, it is crossed. And you will not return the same. The night that precedes revelation. Darkness carries lessons invisible to most. Before sunrise, revelation begins to stir within you. The silent confirmation. Everything you have felt, struggled with, and endured aligns. Before sunrise, confirmation settles quietly in your soul. The internal alignment that defines your path. Every thought, every choice, every release matters. Before sunrise, your path becomes clear. The energy of destiny. The night charges the soul. Before sunrise, energy aligns with purpose. The first step into purpose. Internal, quiet, powerful. Before sunrise, your first step is already taken. The awakening that cannot be stopped. Once it begins, it unfolds naturally. Before sunrise, unstoppable awakening begins. The chosen rise while others sleep. Silently, purposefully, powerfully. Before sunrise, your rise begins. The final whisper before light. Listen closely. The last whispers of the night guide you. Before sunrise, the chosen awaken fully. The internal shift that precedes external change. All begins inside. Before sunrise, internal alignment sets external destiny. The first spark of transformation. Subtle, quiet, undeniable. Before sunrise, the first spark ignites. The threshold of your true self. Tonight unseen, your higher self stirs. Before sunrise, the threshold is crossed. The night that awakens the soul. Every restless hour, every deep thought, every silent prayer prepares you. Before sunrise, your soul awakens. The quiet power that guides you. Unseen, unheard, undeniable. Before sunrise, your quiet power rises. The alignment of mind, body, and spirit. Internal convergence, harmony.